News on the go for you now. Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi is expected to visit Hoerskool Jan Viljoen in Randfontein later today. This is after a fight broke out between pupils at that institution on Friday, with some saying that this was actually racially motivated. Our reporter, Tshegohaco Moagi, is just outside the school this morning ahead of the MEC's visit, and she joins us now live. And Tshegohaco, perhaps for those who missed the story, what happened there?
Well, good morning, Ayanda. So what we understand to have happened is that children, pupils at this school, at Hoerskool Jan Viljoen, they got into a fight on Friday, and it seems it may have been racially motivated. I'm going to actually bring in one of the parents here just to give us clarity as to what has happened and what they are calling for. It is extremely tense outside the school this morning, but we'll show you those visuals in a short while. Let's bring in Janice Boyson here. She is a parent. Janice, thank you so much for your time. Just give us clear details of what you understand to have happened here on Friday.
Okay, on Friday, apparently some children were playing music. I think it was African children, and then a group of boys, they say that they are racist. And if that thing is going to persist, they are going to start a fight. So the one boy hit a grade 8 child, and I think the rest of the children just felt like they had enough of the black children being bullied and the racism of the school, and they also retaliated. Apparently this is not the first child that the head boy assaulted within less than a month. So I think these things needs to be taken into consideration. Our children are here to learn and not to be bullied and called the K word. They are called hooligans, they are called things, they are called animals, and once you call a child an animal, the child will start behaving like an animal. So I think for us as parents, we just had enough. Our children, we are also paying school fees. All of us are paying school fees. So we want our children to be in a school environment where there's no bullying and there's no racism.
What are the teachers saying and the principal?
Apparently, that has been done nothing. Most of the things, it happened since the late 90s, early 2000s, and most of these things get swept under the carpet. So we want something to happen now. We had enough of our children being bullied, called the K word, called animals, pigs, whatever they want to call our children, they call our children. We just had enough as parents from Tukunsrus, Mutlakeng, Soweto, Simunye, all over. We had enough. Tagiso, all the parents whose children is at Jan Viljoen, we had enough of our children being bullied.
And so you would tell us then that this situation is racially motivated?
It is, because the child even admitted that they are racist.
Okay.
And they call children the K word. I mean, how would you feel if somebody called you a K word in your working environment, if it is another race?
Yeah.
What is that? Is it not racial? It's racial issues that's been going on very long at Jan Viljoen.
All right, thank you so much, Janice Boyson. I just want to show you here, Ayanda, the MEC has arrived. This is his motorcade and people that are accompanying him. There's an extremely heavy police presence. So the MEC has come from the right. This road, we are able to stand in the road here because the road has been closed, Ayanda, by the police. There's a police in Nyala. And as you can clearly see in the background, I wonder if my colleague will be able to show you, behind the school gate, there is security personnel there, and you're clearly seeing now the parents, the white parents on the one end, Janice and the other parents are on the other end, and that is the current situation here at Hoerskool Jan Viljoen. And you can clearly see that the parents are just calling really for calm. They don't want they don't want any more violence or any violence at all at the school. You would remember, Ayanda, that in 2019, there was a similar incident at Hoerskool Jan Viljoen, where a child was actually suspended for the behavior that they actually had. So it really is quite tense here. When we arrived here at 6:30, this was the situation where the gate was actually closed. Those that are here behind us saying that they're only letting in the teachers, so parents had to drop their children off at the gate and continue driving through. So MEC Panyaza Lesufi has just arrived, and we're expecting to get an update from him as to what the way forward could possibly be in this situation.
Let you go. It's really troubling to see that it appears the parents themselves have segregated each other. I don't know if this was inadvertently or intentionally. I mean, what sense are you getting from those that are there around why they're even sticking around after dropping off their children? Are they expecting something to happen?
You know, interestingly enough, we had a conversation off the record, off camera, with one of the parents here, and he said that the parents have had enough and they are therefore coming together to try and put an end to it. I did ask if they are expecting for there to be possible violence in this situation because of the heavy police presence here. And he said to me that not necessarily violence, but they want to find a solution to what has taken place on Friday and the continuous alleged racial incidents that take place inside the school premises here. So it is going to be quite interesting, Ayanda, to see what actually transpires outside the school premises as the parents have segregated themselves. It's the whites and the coloreds, and the whites on the one end and the coloreds and the blacks on the other end. So it would be quite interesting to see how things transpire at the school, especially outside and even inside. Janice, the lady that we were speaking to a short while ago, she mentioned to us that even inside the school grounds, the children are not going to be participating in any activities. They themselves are having what they're calling a silent protest. So I'm sure these are issues that the MEC will definitely be addressing. We do know that MEC Panyaza Lesufi has often spoken against any form of violence in schools, and we can expect him to reiterate that today. But also the big thing around the issue of race and racial tensions that are allegedly behind the gates of the school.
Really troubling set of circumstances there. Tshegohaco Moagi, thanks very much indeed. Tshego's live to us there from just outside Hoerskool Jan Viljoen. It's in Randfontein. The MEC of Education in Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi, has already arrived at the institution